So I have this old book here. It's a little bit dusty. I haven't looked at it for a long time. It's a very old book. I think it's from the early 1900s. But field book of Western wildflowers. So it has some illustrations in it, some drawings. See, of different flowers. So it says Field Book of Western Wildflowers by Margaret Armstrong in collaboration with J.J. Thornburg, Professor of Botany in the University of Arizona and botanist of the Arizona Agricultural Experiment Station at Tucson, with 500 illustrations in black and white and 48 plates in color drawn from nature by the author. And see, it says 1915, so it's quite old. The dust is kind of coming off it from turning the pages a little bit. I'm gonna get some tea really quick. Hold on, I have to put the bookmarks because the pages kind of want to close on me. It says, wait, I'm going to use this because sometimes I lose where I'm reading. In this little book, a very large number of the commoner wildflowers growing in the United States west of the Rocky Mountains are pictured and described. It is the first attempt to supply a popular field book for the whole West. The field is vast, including within its limits all sorts of climate and soil, producing thousands of flowers, infinite in variety, and wonderful in beauty. Their environment often as different as that of Hines pine and palm, in such strange homes as the Grand Canyon and the petrified forest of Arizona, or the deserts of Utah and Southern California. We find the oddest desert plants forced to curious expedients in order to sustain life amidst almost perpetual heat and drought, but often displaying blossoms of such brilliance and delicacy that they might well be envied by their unfortunate sisters, flourishing beside shady waterfalls in a happy valley like Yosemite, or splendid mountain gardens such as spreads in many-colored parterres of bloom around the feet of Mount Rainier. On windswept plains, hundreds of flowers are to be found. Many kinds of hardy plants brighten the salty margins of the sea cliffs, or bloom at the edge of the snow on Rocky Mountain peaks, while quantities of humble, everyday flowers border our country roadside, or tint the hills and meadows with lavish color. The field includes the states of Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona, and to designate this whole field, the term West is used in this book. The term Northwest designates Washington, Oregon, northern Idaho, and northern California, and the term Southwest covers Southern California and Arizona. The flowers found only in the Rocky Mountains are not included, and it may be noted here that exceedingly few of the western flowers cross the Rockies and are found in the east. This is the only fully illustrated book of Western flowers, except Miss Parsons' charming book, which is for California only. The drawings have all been made from life. Allowance must be made for differences in appearance owing to locality, and the text should be consulted for the size, as on so small a page, some of the plants must be drawn smaller than others. Almost all technical botanical terms have been translated into ordinary English, as this book is intended primarily for the general public, but as a large number of the plants given have never been illustrated or even described except in somewhat inaccessible or technical publications, it is hoped that the scientist also might find the contents both interesting and useful. The nomenclature used, with few exceptions, is that of the American Code, where these names differ greatly from those in common usage. The latter are given as synonyms in brackets, making the book more useful to all readers. The botanical names are marked with an accent. 2 accents are used, the grave to indicate the long English sound of the vowel, such as the I in violet, and the acute to show the short sound, such as I in lily. Professor J.J. Thornburg of the University of Arizona is responsible for the botanical accuracy of the text, and this knowledge and patient skill have made the book possible. Thanks are due for most valuable assistance in the determination of a very large number of specimens to Miss Alice Eastwood of the California Academy of Sciences, also to Dr. W.L. Jepson of the University of California, Professor A.O. Garrett of Salt Lake City, Professor A.R. Sweetser of the University of Oregon, Mr. S.B. Parrish of San Bernardino, California, Mrs. Henshaw of Vancouver, BC, Dr. A. Davidson of Los Angeles, and Mr. Marcus E. Jones of Salt Lake City, also for advice and assistance to Dr. N.L. Britton and Dr. H.M. Richards of New York, to Dr. Livingston Farrand of Colorado, Mr. C.R. Orcutt of San Diego, Mr. Carl Purdy of Ukiah, California, Professor Flett of San Rainier National Park, Miss Winona Bailey of Seattle, Professor J.H. Paul of Salt Lake City, and many other kind friends. The arrangement is that originated by Mr. Schuler Matthews in his field book of American wildflowers, which has been found very popular in the East. But this book, most of the genera, as well as the species, have been very briefly described. So, it's just the contents, the different flowers in it. I get some tea. So, water plantain, lily, iris, orchid, lizard tail, sandalwood, birthwort, buckwheat, pigweed, 4 o'clock, carpetweed, pink, purslane, buttercup, barberry, water lily, strawberry shrub, poppy, bleeding heart, mustard, caper, or pine, saxifrage, hydrangea, gooseberry, apple, plum, rose, pea, senna, mimosa, crumeria, caltrop, flax, wood sorrel, geranium, milkwort, meadow, buckeye, buckthorn, mallow, St. John's wort, focera, violet, loessa, rock rose, cactus, evening primrose, parsley, dogwood, heath, wintergreen, Indian pipe, primrose, olive, gentian, milkweed, dogbane, buckbean, morning glory, phlox, waterleaf, borage, verbena, mint, potato, figwort, broomrip, madder, valerian, honeysuckle, gourd, bellflower, sunflower, chicory. And then there's some colored illustrations. They're kind of right in the middle. If I could hold on, let me see that the middle pages are kind of lighter. Oh, sorry. So they have like a section of colored images in the middle. And so technical terms: corolla, petal, calyx, sepal, anther, filament, stamen, ovary, ovary inferior, ovary superior, placenta, ovule, style, stigma, pistil, regular flower, perfect flower, staminate, pistillate, polygamous, claw, pedicel, and raceme, spike, bracts, involucre, steeple, capsule, again, key to the families. Yeah, I don't really feel like reading that part. So, Field Book of Western Wildflowers. So, this is the first picture. This is arrowhead, or Sagittaria latifolia. So it says a rather small family, widely distributed, growing in freshwater swamps and streams. The leaves are all from the root, with long sheathing leaf stalks, and the flowers are regular and perfect, or with only pistils or only stamens. The sepals 3, the petals 3, the stamens 6 or more, the ovaries numerous, superior developing into dry, one-seeded nutlets. There are a good many kinds of Sagittaria, with fibrous roots and milky juice. The leaves are usually arrow-shaped. The lower flowers usually pistillate, and the upper ones usually staminate. The stamens are numerous, and the numerous ovaries are closely crowded and form roundish heads. The name is from Latin for arrow, referring to the shape of the leaves. An attractive and very decorative plant with stout, smooth, hollow flower stems, and 8 inches to 4 feet tall, with very handsome, smooth, olive green leaves and papery bracts. The flowers are about an inch across, with delicately crumpled white petals and yellow anthers, forming a bright golden center, and the plants look very pretty, standing along the edges of ponds. The leaves are exceedingly variable in both size and shape. This is found throughout North America. The tubers are edible, and hence the plant is often called the tool potato, and they are much eaten by the Chinese in California. The Indian name is wapato. It's water plantain. Arrowhead. I think that's her initial, because the author is Margaret Armstrong. There's a little M.A. there next to the plant. Oh, she Half-Blood Prince did. She wrote, whoever owned this book before me, they underlined some things. Must be parallel. So lily family. This is amber lily, and it's yellow summer Arizona. Amber lily and Theracum torreyi. So it says, a wonderful, beautiful family, large and widely distributed, mostly perennial herbs, growing from bulbs or rootstocks, with perfect, regular, symmetrical flowers and toothless leaves. The flower cup almost always has 6 divisions, the outer often called sepals and the inner petals. The 6 stamens are opposite the divisions, and sometimes 3 of them are without anthers. The styles or stigmas are 3, and the ovary is superior, developing into a 3-celled capsule, or peri, containing few or many seeds. There are several kinds of Anthericum, rather small lily-like plants, with grass-like leaves, springing from the base and surrounded by the fibrous remnants of older leaves. The slender stems are leafless, or have one very small, dry leaf. The roots thick and fleshy fibrous. The flowers yellow on pedicels, jointed near the middle. The style long and slender. The pod oblong, containing several flattened angular seeds in each cell. They are common on rocky soil at altitudes of 6,000 to 9,000 feet, from western Texas to Arizona. A beautiful little plant with delicate flowers, unusual and pretty in coloring. It grows from 8 to 15 inches tall and has a slender, pale green stem, springing from a clump of graceful pale bluish-green grass-like leaves. The flowers are about 3/4 of an inch long, pale orange or corn color, with a narrow stripe on each division. The pistil green with an orange stigma. The anthers yellow. The flowers fade almost as soon as they bloom. This grows in open woods. That's the amber lily.